now that this pass has finished with this design, we're done, and now we're going to do our corners. We're going to go to our left corner first, and we're going to select design number 64, and we're going to rotate it 45 degrees. I had said 65, but I said the wrong design. So we want 64. I'm going to go to start, and I'm going to do some tricks and show you a couple things. We're going to go to 4-point scaling. And normally we're really precise on where we put those 4 points, but right now we're just going to go right upper, right lower, left upper, left lower. It really doesn't matter where they are as long as they're in the right spot in that square. Proportional, yes, we're going to say. We're going to rotate 45 degrees. So I'm going to hold the rotation button going up. Now here's the thing to think about. If you're rotating clockwise, you're going up. If you're rotating counterclockwise, so the other corner would be counterclockwise, you're going to go down. So keep in mind when you're pushing your arrow to go the right direction, or you might rotate it the wrong way. So we've rotated and set it at 45 degrees so that when it rotates, it will rotate like this for a corner. It's going to scale the design. We don't need to trace the boundaries, but on QBOT, do you remember that percent we needed is 83%. It says 53 on here. At this point, I can go in with my up arrow or down and change the percent to 83% so that the original heart in the border will be the exact same size as the one in the corner. Now I know that my start's going to be someplace over here, so I can actually slide the machine close to where that start is when QBOT's not engaged. And when it says press go to move to start, it's going to be close to where we need to be. Now, here's where the fun comes in to get really good at positioning. We're going to fine tune right to where these threads come out of the fabric. So using the arrows on QBOT, I'm going to fine tune so that I land exactly where it started. Now, for those of you that get this little panic mode like I used to do, it's okay to do needle up and needle down to see if you're exactly where you want to be. And I'm not quite where I want to be, so I am now. With that one stitch that I took, I can actually pull my bobbin thread up to the top with that. And now we're going to push the go on QBOT, and it's going to stitch our corner exactly where we want to be. Now we're at trace boundary. We don't need to trace our boundary, no. We've already moved to start. We're going to fine tune and we're ready to go. So it's doing a heart just like we have here, only as one single corner design. So when you go to do your other side, you're going to do the same thing. Keep in mind, rotate counterclockwise with the down arrow on QBOT. It's almost done. So this corner is complete. So we've got one corner and our border joined together. Couple tips I want to show you before we go to the other side and do some other things with you. We have basted our quilt top down so that when we do this border here, everything's basted and there's no shifting when we turn it on the frame if we choose to do that. We could rotate the border and go this way, but I find it's easier if I just turn the whole quilt. So we'll push the machine aside, pull our bobbin thread up, and then we would complete our second corner. So we've completed our left corner, our border, and now we're going to do the right corner. So keep in mind the left corner was 64. Now we're going to navigate and exit out, and we're going to go to 65. We're going to do the same thing we just did for this corner over on the right hand side. 4 points, doesn't really matter where we do it. Right upper, right lower, left upper, left lower, keep proportional, yes. Rotate stays in. It remembers the rotation, but keep in mind this is a positive and we want to go a negative rotation. So we're going to long press the down arrow and go to 45 negative rotation to go counterclockwise. Our start is actually going to start where the border ended. So we're going to press go. It's going to scale. We don't need to trace the boundary, but keep in mind what was that percent? Our first one is 83%. So we're going to up to 83%. We can move QBOT close to where we're going to start. It says go to move to start, so we're going to go. We're going to fine tune over. A great tip here is, at home, I have a laser light that's actually attached that points exactly where the needle lands in the fabric. So there's a little tip. If you can get a laser light to land right where the needle lands in the fabric, you won't need to do your needle up, down to check. So I'm going to do needle up. We're in good shape. Pull up the bobbin thread. If I needed to fine tune just a hair, I can do that. Start QBOT and begin. It does come up because we fine tune and want to know if we want to trace our boundary again, and we're good, so we don't need to do that. So we're going to bypass that question and we're going to fine tune to start. I'm going to hold those threads when it starts, and now it's doing the opposite corner as we did on the left. So there's your borders and corners, and happy quilting those borders and corners. You'll have lots of fun learning how to do it.